short clip is all it took. A stranger recognizes a man in public and asks a simple question. "Didn't you play on Disney Channel?" He quietly corrects her. "Nickelodeon." She squints, searching her memory, then it hits her. Ned's Declassified. The camera keeps rolling and suddenly a forgotten face from 2000s TV is back in the spotlight. But not in the way anyone would want. That man is Tylor Chase, who played Martin Clay on Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. And the moment went viral not because it was funny or nostalgic, but because it was deeply uncomfortable. Something was clearly off. His appearance, his energy. The way the interaction felt more like a collision than a reunion. And within hours, the internet did what it always does. It turned concern into content. People started asking the same question over and over. How does a former Nickelodeon actor end up like this? Some rushed to blame the industry. Others blamed his parents. Some blamed him. But almost no one stopped to ask a harder question. What if this didn't happen overnight? Because it didn't. Being a child star sounds glamorous, but fame at that age isn't a reward. It's pressure. Your identity gets frozen before you even know who you are. Adults make decisions for you. Your image gets sold. Your success gets measured publicly. And when the show ends, the structure disappears. The spotlight moves on, but you're left carrying the weight of a version of yourself that no longer fits. That's the part people don't talk about. When you grow up famous, you don't get to fail quietly. You don't get to reinvent yourself without an audience. You don't get to disappear when things start falling apart. You're always that kid, even when your real life looks nothing like the reruns people remember. After the clip went viral, the internet reacted the only way it knows how. With opinions, with think pieces, and eventually with money. A GoFundMe was set up to help Tylor and donations came in quickly. For a moment, it felt like the story was heading toward a clean ending. People helping. A community stepping in. Then the fundraiser was taken down. According to statements from his mother, Tylor didn't need cash. He needed medical care. She reportedly said money wouldn't help if he refused treatment, and that he struggled to manage even basic things like phones or medication. That detail changed everything, because it shattered the fantasy that this could be fixed with a few clicks and good intentions. And that's when people got uncomfortable, and because he needs help but won't accept it, isn't a story the internet knows how to solve. You can't donate your way out of that. You can't comment your way out of that. And suddenly the situation stopped being inspirational and started being real. Around that time, one of Tylor's former castmates, Daniel Curtis Lee, stepped in publicly. He tried to help in practical ways: food, check-ins, even arranging a place to stay. On the surface, it sounded hopeful. Someone from the same world hadn't forgotten him, but reality didn't cooperate. The situation reportedly escalated quickly. A motel stay turned chaotic. The room was damaged, management called, and Daniel later admitted that the family had warned him this kind of setup hadn't worked before. He thought maybe this time would be different. It wasn't. That moment mattered because it exposed something most people don't want to admit. Wanting to help and actually being able to help are two very different things, especially when someone is dealing with deep instability. The internet loves rescue arcs. Real life is messy, exhausting, and unpredictable. As more clips of Tylor circulated online, the concern grew. Videos showed him alone, talking to himself, wandering parking lots. Some viewers felt sympathy, others felt uneasy, and a darker debate started bubbling up. Should people even be filming him? On one hand, recording someone at their lowest point feels invasive. It turns pain into entertainment. On the other hand, without those videos, would anyone have stepped in at all? That's the ugly paradox of the attention economy. Sometimes exposure brings help. Sometimes it makes things worse, and often it does both at the same time. As the story spread, more context emerged. Tylor's struggles weren't new. Years earlier, he had posted disturbing poetic videos online, openly talking about bipolar disorder and feeling trapped by his own mind. Looking back now, those clips read less like art and more like warnings that went unanswered. His father later spoke publicly, saying the family had been dealing with this for more than a decade. According to him, Tylor could be kind and loving when stable, but addiction and untreated mental illness changed him. There were attempts at treatment, periods of improvement, then relapses, a cycle that never fully broke. This wasn't a sudden fall from grace, it was a slow collapse. Reports also mentioned multiple run-ins with the law related to shoplifting and being under the influence, though authorities described him as calm and cooperative, not dangerous. Just someone clearly unwell and in need of care. Again, not a villain, not a headline. A human being stuck in a loop. For a while, it felt like the story would fade the way these stories usually do. Viral concern, a few updates, then silence. But toward the end of the year, there was a shift. People from recovery circles reportedly got involved. A crisis evaluation was done. Tylor was placed on a short psychiatric hold to stabilize him before moving toward rehab. For the first time, the focus wasn't on clips or comments. It was on intervention. And that's where the story sits now. Unresolved, fragile, still uncertain. What makes this situation so heavy isn't just what's happening to one former child actor. It's what it says about the system around him. An industry that profits from kids but doesn't build real exit ramps. A culture that consumes breakdowns as content. And an internet that confuses attention with care. Everyone loves to ask, how did this happen? But the better question might be, why does this keep happening? No, because when the cameras turn off, the aftercare usually disappears. And when things go wrong years later, the responsibility gets passed around until no one owns it. If Tylor Chase does find stability, it won't be because a video went viral. It'll be because someone stayed when the attention moved on. Because help became consistent, not performative. And maybe the most uncomfortable takeaway of all is this. The next time we recognize someone from our childhood in public, we should pause before reaching for our phones. Not every moment needs to be content. Some moments need to be handled with care.